Hey everyone, it's Flava, and I'm here with our special guest star.
Oh, that's me. I'm Snakes.
Yeah, Snakes plays. What do you play, Snakes? It's a mystery to me.
I probably play a little too much Lucio.
Yeah, I'm just zooming in on your Lucio hours here. Not gonna lie. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Lucio. So you don't see a ton of Lucio now in today's meta, correct? You see a lot of Mercy Zen. You see a lot of some different support, but Lucio's really not as meta as he was. Do you think these new buffs, these new changes with his radius, will allow him to become more meta?
I think the radius buff is going to be really, really minor. Probably won't see a whole lot out of it.
Okay.
I'm most excited for his ult buff.
Ah, yes.
So if anyone here has ever played hide and seek, the hero's natural ult charge, heroes like Tracer and Sombra have a really fast natural ult charge. Lucio has the slowest natural charge. So if you're doing nothing, it builds really, really slowly. If you're doing good, it'll build up at a kind of a regular pace, but it's still like a really slow ult to build compared to others. And it's kind of a low value ult. It can be taken out by Sombra. It's fast, and there's certain abilities that it's like your timing has to be perfect or you're still gonna die from a Diva Bomb or a Junkrat Tire. And that extra shields that they're adding, I think it like more valuable and make him able to help his team survive some of those like high damage bolts. In comparison to like Zenyatta, who does like a lot of healing over time, so it's like the dragon.
So do you think Lucio will be able to replace Zen with this new ultimate?
No, but it will be more effective with different. I think with Hammond being introduced, we might see a resurgence of a little bit more dive
Oh yeah, for sure.
comps, which Lucio would fit way better in than Zen, but Zen is still a really solid pick if you're working anti-dive.
Right. So obviously in a meta right now where, you've got a lot of Brigitte, you've got a lot of Mercy Zen. If you are playing Lucio, how would you kind of play Lucio the correct way instead of getting insta-killed and feeding like
Yeah,
most Lucios do?
instead of just feeding. Um, the biggest thing with him is learning how to survive and where to place yourself. He's kind of in a weird spot right now where he's kind of like a hybrid DPS healer. Like big streamers like Rami and Red Shell, like they're pretty front line. Before his rework a few months back, you could sit a little bit farther back line. Your aura was huge, so you almost had your entire team in it. Now you have to kind of be a little bit more up there, and the best thing you can do is practicing wall riding and knowing when to disengage. It's really tempting to just kind of rush in there and do things, but you gotta wait for your team.
So do you say you'd play Lucio in a more fraggy type style, going for picks instead of focusing on complete healing?
Yes. Yeah, kind of a combination. I pay attention to my team, and especially when I'm playing comp, I try to call out when I'm going to be amping heals so that my team knows, okay, come a little bit closer, you're going to get topped off, that sort of thing. And I can still have a pretty good healing output, but with his rework, he got a slight damage increase with his projectiles, and so...
Was that this? Was this
Oh,
was this buff?
no, this was months and months ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Lucios are they're kind of scary though. If they land a few headshots, they can do some work.
Yeah, it's really fun, like, to use your boop to help aim your shots, because his projectiles are really slow, so I'll normally use
Yeah.
my boop to, like, set someone on a trajectory that I know, like, I can aim right at.
Right, right. So would you say Lucio works better for, I guess you could say like heavy tank comps or more dive comps? Because when the tanks are sped, we saw this in obviously, I think it was Dallas Fuel versus Soul maybe. They went quad tank with Lucio Moira, not because Lucio had a ton of healing, but for his speed. Do you think the speed is more useful for diving or more useful for tanking?
I think it can be useful for both, depending on who your other healer is. If you've got, a Mercy or a Ana, then I think a Lucio with a slower team comp can help your heavy tanks, Reinhardt, Orisa, get around. But if you've got, a little bit more flighty healer like Moira, then that pairs really well with a dive because you can keep up with the rest of your faster tanks and that DPS and healer.
Okay, and finally, what's one Lucio tip you think everybody should practice or try to get correct or try not to do, try to do? Is that sort of...
What's really helped me with him is like finding what keybinds work for you. For some people, the space bar is enough, but I found that space bar scroll wheel works really well. Some people really like having the jump on the right click. And then
Right.
I'll just spend time in the maps practicing wall riding and roll out.
Also, it's very, at least I've noticed this when playing Lucio, it's very important to have your backwards wall ride enabled, mainly because you can kind
Yes.
of, yeah, you can skirt out of the situation and you should be alright.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't realize that when they changed that so that he could wall ride backwards, is that the default is set off. So
Yeah.
check your settings and make sure it's enabled. My sister and I, when that first happened, were like, man, we are so bad at backwards wall riding. And then I was looking at his settings and I'm like, oh, it's not turned on. Like, I thought it was just something that I couldn't do, that I was bad at. And it was because the setting wasn't enabled.
Overwatch got you again. It really do be that
Yep.
way. Anyway, I've been Flava. This is my good friend Snakes. Her Twitch link will be in the description below. I hope, of course, you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.